Hello and welcome to Housing TV News at the top of the hour, coming to you from our studios in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Mimi Tondo. The headlines. Tinubu hails armed forces as Japan pledges $5.5 billion support for Africa. Federal government restates commitment to revive 15-year-old moribund Mana Water Works in Niger State. International Organization for Migration donates 1.7 billion naira to Yelwata and Naka IDPs. And from the foreign scene, M23's withdrawal from peace talks deepens crisis in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Now the news in details. President Bola Tinubu has praised Nigerians' armed forces for their successes in the fight against insurgency and criminality, while restating his administration's commitment to tackling the root causes of insecurity. The president made the remark during the plenary on peace and stability at the Tokyo International Conference for Africa Development, TICAD 9, in Yokohama, Japan. He highlighted the importance of inclusivity, diversity, and rule of law as Nigerians' enduring strength, adding that the momentum in the armed forces serves as a springboard for national development. President Tinubu also stressed that while the military can win many battles, the government must be bold enough to confront the underlying factors fueling instability. At the same session, Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba pledged a $5.5 billion support package for Africans through a new economic framework with the African Development Bank. The initiative, which will be financed by Japan's International Cooperation Agency, will focus youth and women empowerment and regional integration. President Tinubu used the opportunity to call for greater international cooperation, urging market-driven partnerships rather than aid. The federal government says it is committed to reviving the 15-year-old moribund Mana Water Works in the Bida local government area of Niger State, following the collapse of the transformer that have powered the facility for years, making it difficult for water intake treatment and reticulation. This was disclosed when Managing Director of the National Hydroelectric Power Producing Areas Development Commission, Abubakar Sadiq Yelwa, led a team of the Management Committee and that of the Niger State Water and Sewage Corporation to an on-the-spot assessment of the facility. The Mana Water Works, when fully operational, are capable of supplying about 2.5 million liters of water daily to more than 600,000 residents of Bida and its surrounding areas.
Contract which the state's Rural Water Board and Rural Development awarded, which Hyperdeck committed itself to pay. We have reached a significant percentage of the job, and I'm sure if we want to energize this water system today, with what we have done, it can be energized.
On the issue of flooding in the member states, Yelwa says the Commission is on top of the situation.
If we are to address flooding alone, it can take the Nigerian budget for the next 5 years. It can consume Nigeria's budget, just Hyperdeck communities. So, I mean, this is something more than the government can do.
For the Niger State Water and Sewage Corporation, the government has also invested in bringing the project to life by procuring about 20 pumping machines.
Once that is addressed, we also have some challenges at the intake. That's where the raw water is abstracted for treatment. Once that is also addressed, then the water treatment plant, then eventually the reticulation, that's the pipeline network.
The team was also at the palace of the Etsu Nupe, Yahaya Abubakar, where it briefed him on the progress made so far, as he pledged his commitment and that of the Emirates to ensure the project is revived so that his subjects can enjoy clean and potable drinking water.
I believe that the authorities that are very much concerned about this will take up quick action. The state is doing its utmost best by, from time to time, trying to provide certain assistance in terms of equipment or re-equipping the old system.
The visit is a reflection of the Commission's commitment and renewed dedication to improving the quality of life for residents through a reliable water supply and community involvement. Now, away from that story, the United Nations Children Fund is partnering with the Kaduna State Budget and Planning Commission to prioritize children's needs in government policies. UNICEF's Social Policy Officer for the Kaduna Field Office, Wakidara Akila, disclosed this during a 5-day workshop in Kano. She noted that the training is designed to build the capacity of the ministry to integrate child-focused priorities into budget planning and implementation, ensuring that children's welfare is central to government spending.
So we are here today with the Ministry of Budget and Planning to basically enhance their capacity on program-based budgeting. And this is very important to us because we want to see the issues of children, especially in 4 focal areas of health, education, water and sanitation, and social protection, to be reflected.
The Commissioner for Planning and Budget in Kaduna State, Mukhtar Ahmed, explained that the workshop aims to equip project officers and stakeholders with the skills necessary for program-based budgeting, which links government projects directly to outcomes.
What we are doing today is part of the planning. That's why we are here holding a technical session for all the budget officers that are involved technically in the preparation of budget for Kaduna State. Not only the Staff of the Plan and Budget Commission, but other agencies in the state are all here on the planning to look at all the nitty-gritty in the budget process. We'll look at the MTF, the MTSS, and the programming-based budget. So that's why we are here, so that we will equip and give them the necessary skill for preparing and doing a very good budget for the state.
So we are here today with the technical team from Kaduna State to enhance the capacity of the team in terms of doing program budgeting for the children. So that is why we are here with the entire team, so that we can now have a view of whatever the thinking of the government, the focus of the government, so that we can incorporate it at the planning stage. Once if it is not captured at the planning stage, then the entire process will be missing at the end of the day.
He added that the approach will help align the state's budget process with government priorities, particularly in programs that directly benefit children and promote their development. And now the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, has rounded off a 3-day operational visit to informations under the 6th Division of the Nigerian Army. The visit saw the commissioning of several projects across Rivers, Bayelsa, and Akwa Ibom states aimed at improving the welfare of personnel and strengthening operational capacity. In Port Harcourt, the Army Chief inaugurated the Headquarters 6th Division Office Complex, Extension, and the Python Harmony Center. He also unveiled new and remodeled accommodation for soldiers, upgraded offices, and a petroleum oil lubricant point. At the 29th Battalion, he commissioned a remodeled quarter guard and new housing units for junior personnel. The visit continued in Bayelsa State, where General Oluyede inaugurated the new 16th Brigade Annex Complex, a garrison house, and a range of remodeled facilities, including battalion and artillery regiment structure. He also performed the groundbreaking for 20 units of 2-bedroom flats for senior non-commissioned officers at Elele Barracks and inspected a newly renovated medical reception station in Ibagwa Barracks, Akwa Ibom. As part of his engagement, the Army Chief paid a courtesy visit to the Governor of Akwa Ibom State. Oluyede commended the state government's consistent support to the military, describing Akwa Ibom as one of the most peaceful states in the country. In response, Governor Eno praised the Nigerian Army's role in maintaining peace and security, assuring of continued collaboration with the force. And now to Benue State, the International Organization for Migration has donated the sum of 1.7 billion naira to support the humanitarian crisis in Yelwata and Naka communities of Guma and Gwe West local councils of the Benue State. The Deputy Director General of Operations, International Organization for Migration, Oguchi Daniels, made the disclosure at the Government House, Makudi, when she led a high-powered delegation that included the United Nations Children's Fund, Country representatives in Nigeria, Wafa Said, and other envoys and dignitaries on the field visit to Benue State.
New funding of $1.1 million.
A new lease of life handed down by the International Organization for Migration, led by its Deputy Director General for Operations to internally displaced persons from June's horrific El water attack and other displaced in Gwewa's local council of the state.
Which is 1.7 billion naira to be jointly implemented with IOM, UNHCR, and UN Habitat to support your response here in Yelwata and Gwer West, Naka. And then in December, we will also launch a new initiative funded by the IOM Development Fund that is focused on gender-based violence, reducing the risk of gender-based violence. Now we know that humanitarian aid is not enough. Sir James had already spoken to this, and our collective efforts must prioritize peace building and sustainable development. And that is why, as I explained to you, Your Excellency, earlier, there are 36 states in Nigeria. On this visit, I chose to come to Benue.
Chief Executive calls for tangible support from other development partners to fulfill its promise to return the displaced persons to various ancestral homes.
It is in this wise that our administration has pledged to contribute $50,000 to the resilience campaign of IOM, and it is willing to partner with any meaningful donor.
We take a pause here. News stories from the big sectors are up next.
This is Housing TV Africa on YouTube and click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to Housing TV Africa to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts. On Facebook, Housing TV Africa. On Twitter, Housing TV Africa. Instagram, Housing TV Africa.
Welcome back. Glad to have you join us on Housing TV News at the top of the hour. Now to the beat sector. The Federal High Bridge linking Lagos and some northwest states like Sokoto, Kebbi and Zamfara has collapsed due to flooding at Liba village along the Jaga Road in Kebbi State. Kebbi State Deputy Governor Umar Tafida, who went on an inspection visit on behalf of the state government, appealed to the federal government for urgent repairs of the collapsed bridge. He says the bridge is the second to collapse since last year, despite Kebbi State government's efforts to carry out rehabilitation works pending permanent repairs by the federal government. Tafida assured that the Kebbi State government is committed to collaborating with the Federal Ministry of Works to address the issue. The State Controller, Federal Ministry of Works, Vandu Ishaya, explained that his team was at the site of the collapsed bridge to ensure precautionary measures are put in place to make people aware and guard against road accidents. The Deputy Governor urged the Federal Ministry of Works to take urgent action, explaining that the state government's effort is aimed at mitigating the impact of the collapsed bridge on the local economy and ensuring the safety of commuters. And on to the foreign scene. The M23 rebels group abrupt withdrawal from the Doha peace talks with the Democratic Republic of Congo has cast a long shadow over hopes for a negotiated end to one of Africa's most enduring conflicts. The talks, mediated by Qatar and backed by the United States, were derailed when M23 accused the Congolese army of violating prior commitments, including prisoner releases and ceasefire terms. The breakdown not only underscores the fragility of the diplomatic process but also signals a dangerous escalation and violence, as evidenced by resident massacres in Rutshuru territory. Human Rights Watch reports that M23 fighters, allegedly backed by Rwanda's military, executed at least 140 civilians in July, with some estimates placing the toll above 300. To end the news, a recap of the stories that made headlines. Tinubu hails armed forces as Japan pledges $5.5 billion support for African at Tokyo International Conference. Federal government restates commitment to revive 15-year-old moribund Mana Water Works in Niger State. International Organization for Migration donates 1.7 billion naira to Yelwata and Naka IDPs. And on the foreign scene, we'll told you that M23's withdrawal from peace talks deepens crisis in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. For more information on housing, you can follow us on all our social media handles. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Housing TV Africa. You can also download the Housing TV app on your Google Play Store and Apple Store. Many thanks for watching. I am Mimi Tondu. Bye for now.